Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Creative Care Friday. I think this is my fourth in a row of showing up on time. Let me just drop a note in here. And the free. We are going to paint today. I haven't painted with you guys in a while, not start to finish. So we're going to paint today, start to finish. I have this fun design. I'm going to ask, I have a little poll too. So grab your coffee. I have my coffee. It's in here. You can't see it, but believe me, it's coffee. And oat needs a stir. So funny story. I was making it. I was like, what cup should I put it in? First world problems. I like to drink my iced coffee out of a glass in the morning. If I'm on the road, I'm on the run or whatever, okay. But I like to drink my iced coffee out of a glass. Weird, I know, right? And back in the day when I was a little kid, my mother and father had favorite mugs, and they couldn't have been more opposite of whose mug was whose. You knew exactly whose mug was whose, but they were totally different. But anyway, so I filled this up to make it. I popped on the lid, and it must have been too high, and it squirted out everywhere, all over me. I'm surprised I don't have it all over me. Oh, I know why. All over me, the counter, the floor. So that was deep breath, and let's get started. Okay, so I'm taking another little sip. I had last night over almost a 2-hour Zoom video tutorial. It went really, really well. It wasn't 2 hours because there was an issue. It was just 2 hours because it was long. We did one of the new journals. It's right there. I can grab it for you if you want. We did this via Zoom. It was really an hour and 45 minutes. And this is what we did. Isn't this cute? This Life's a Beach journal. So we did this via Zoom last night, and it was so fun. Even at after we finished the book, I said, you guys, you're going to get the recording anyway. If you're hungry, you need to go to the bathroom, whatever. If you want to hop off, I won't be insulted. You're going to get the video. And then we just went through some of the extra pockets and what all the little ephemera was for and how to do the ribbon and the envelopes. And I figured, half the people would leave. Not one person left. They were like, let's finish. I want to finish. So that was really cool. I was happy about that. Anyway, that's enough. Let me turn you guys around. So hi. So we're going to paint today. I have my Zoop. Let me get my Lazy Susie. My 9x12 Canson book. Later on, I will pop this. Oh, I painted my cup. Oh, no, that's not the cover. I did paint the cover on the other one. My 9x12 mixed media Canson book. I love to paint in these because I have canvas everywhere. This is just a piece of plastic. You can use whatever you want or nothing at all. I stick it in here between my pages. So if I want to paint straight to the edge, which I usually do, it's not going to mess up the rest of my book. Good morning, Virginia. How are you feeling, friend? I have my tracer here. This is what you will get. It's for personal use only. I'm going to line it up. This is probably something some of us could freehand. That is up to you. All right. I'm going to stick it on here. Now, this is well-worn, used graphite paper. I should stick this in the supplies, too. I mean, we couldn't even begin to count unless we were like forensic detectives. We couldn't even begin to count how many times I've used this. Hundreds and hundreds. Well worth it. So I'm going to slip this in here. Now, I made a mistake of printing this on cardstock instead of paper. So I'm going to have to be pretty firm when I trace. Oh, I want to move this one. I'm going to move the bottle to the edge. So let me line this. Let me switch this around. I want the bottle on the edge. I lined up the flower to the edge. I can make my flower a little bigger. This doesn't have to fit perfect. Pick a corner and go for it. Then I tape it down so it doesn't move. All right. And I'm going to slip in my well-worn, used piece of graphite paper. Then you can grab a pen, a pencil. I use this metal stylus, whatever you want. And we're just going to trace all these lines. And these are just the basic lines. It does not have to be perfect. You can get this tracer. I dropped the link in there for you. And I'm just going to do the outermost edge of the sunflower center. And then I'll do the petals. I'm going to have to come back in with a pencil. Let me make sure this is working with the card. Oh, it is. It's working with the cardstock. Nice. I do have to push a little harder. Actually, you know what? I think I just came up with something. I often have to trace dozens of tracers for my classes and kits. I wonder if I should use cardstock because sometimes I rip through the tracer. I might have just thought of something. Print onto cardstock and then your tracer will last longer. I think that's good. All right, let me pop this off. So I have yellow, orange, black, white, brown, 2 greens, and I have this, it's called burnt sienna. It's like a rusty tan color, and then my black, my white, and my brown. You use whatever you have on hand. If you wanted to be more of a daisy, that's fine too. And I'm just going to come, because I had my tracer hugged to this side and it didn't fit exact, I just wanted to come in here and extend these lines a little bit. So we have one big sunflower, we have our little sunflower, and then we have our wine bottle. All right. And let's see. I'm going to put out my greens. I'm actually going to paint a lot of this with a round brush. I don't use a round brush often, but I'm going to use a round brush for this, and you'll see why. So I'm putting out a light green and a really, really dark green. And I'm going to start with, there's a round brush. This one will work. I have my palette here. It's a mess, but I have dark green and light green. And I'm going to pick up some dark green. I'm rolling my brush in my green paint, bringing all my fibers together so they're not boinging out. If they still continue to boing out, even when they're wet and rolled, this brush goes in the garbage. And I'm just going to start filling in with little dabs around my sunflower. Little dabby strokes, little dabby strokes. So how is everyone? What's going on? I told you about my coffee explosion this morning. It is Friday. Anybody have any plans for the weekend? Last weekend, I got to tell you guys, we were so busy that I'm okay today if we don't have any plans this weekend. Actually, I do. I have an in-person party on Sunday. Sunday at noon. And it was actually someone that found me on the Facebook. So that was really cool. Little short strokes. I'm just using this and little short strokes. It's okay if you see white through your strokes all the way down. It's okay if some areas are darker than others because of some areas that I've gone over. We're going to come back in here and go over this with yellow as well. And this is very messy and abstract. And don't think too much of it. Oh, you hear the birds? As long as you hear the birds and not my cat. My poor cat. My poor cat is deaf. And she gets on these moaning streaks. It's a little frightening, you guys. There doesn't seem to be anything wrong with her. I'll go over to her. I'll touch her. I'll pick her up. I'll give her some loving and some squeezing. She just wants to walk around moaning. She doesn't know she's doing it because she's deaf. But I think even if she did know she was doing it, I don't think she would care. You know why? Because she's a cat. Now this tracer is the full-size tracer. I traced it out on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. And this is a 9 by 12 book. I'm just trying to get my strength back. You know what, Virginia? Don't push it. You know what? Do what you can. If you can only do something for 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, that's okay. I mean, I don't know all your details. It's not my business. But I do know, don't push it. Your health is important. You do what you feel. I know you're probably like me, wanting to like do stuff and always on the go and around the house and whatnot. I don't know. But don't push it. You do you, because if you push it, it's just going to take longer. So you're going to have to suck it up. Get a good book. Do you like to read? Do you watch Netflix? I have recommendations for both. What am I? Oh, I think that's part of the flower. We'll fix that later. Oh, right into my paint. So later on, I don't know what's petals up there and what's going to be flower up there. I think most of this is flower up there. So isn't that a cool effect, you guys? I'm going to come in here. Maybe I'm going to do this part. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to grab a little bit of the light green paint. Now our elements, we work from the bottom up in our art. If you've seen my post or my download, art is like pizza. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You can't work from the top down. You'll cover up everything. Although some people like to do that. Some people like to put like hidden inspirational notes in their art, bury it deep, expose their feelings, and then cover it all up. That's not the kind of art I'm talking about. There's nothing wrong with that kind of art. There's nothing wrong with any kind of art, but that's not the kind of art I'm talking about. I need a set. I'm talking about art where you have a canvas, whatever that is, wood, glass, cloth, a wall, whatever it is, you have a canvas and you build up like the layers of a pizza. Now I'm not even going to wash my brush, and I'm going to come in here and I'm going to do the same thing with a little bit of this light paint, but I'm not going to cover the whole thing. I'm just going to cover the parts closest to the flower, and I'm just going to pull it out a little bit. I may come back in the end and add more. We'll see. Oh, wrong paint. But for now, I'm just doing this light part. So messy. Don't worry. It took me a long time to become a messy painter. And what I mean by messy painter is just, I think this is still, that should not have been green. Just a little bit more loose, not so much following in the lines. When I do my kids' parties, I'm like, it's okay to go outside the lines. And you would think I told them, hello, Donna. You would think I told them, you know, to be sassy to their mom, although kids these days are kind of sassy to their mom. But yeah, I'm like, it's okay if you go outside the lines. And they're like, oh, no, I can't. Okay, wash that brush. I have a flat brush in here. I guess I can use it. So that was in like a medium round brush. And now I have this, it's in here, so I'm going to use it. Drop my rag. So who on here, I have a question for you. We're going to paint sunflowers. Is a sunflower a summer flower or a fall flower? What do you guys think? Summer flower or fall flower? And I'm going to get out white while you guys talk amongst yourself. So I'm going back into the dark green. I have this 1-inch flat brush here. You can use any flat brush you want. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to base coat in the wine bottle. And this is why it didn't matter if you went inside the lines, because now we come back with our flat brush and a little control, and we clean up that whole line. And the same thing. If you're wondering, I paint on a Lazy Susie, so I can do this. I can't paint on a easel. An easel's like way too tall for me, but I can't do it. I took an art class yesterday, and the first thing I did when I got there was take my painting canvas off the easel and put it on the desk. Yes, I do. I take painting classes. I hold this. So anyway, so what do you think? Fall or summer flower? Where's my dark green paint? Oh, here it is. I thought it was black. I need a little more dark green paint. And I'm just base coating in. I'm painting in this whole bottle with the dark green paint that we used to go around the flower. I am skipping the label for now. The label is going to be different. This is what I mean by art being like pizza. We're putting in our elements now. Now we're adding in our dough, was our canvas. And now we're adding in the sauce. And that would be, actually the sauce would be the background. So now we're working on our cheeses. Our cheeses are our elements. The background was the little bit of green that I put in it, about and around. Sunflower, wind on a nice fall afternoon. There you go, fall. See, fall. Don't know. I have always, honestly, until I got into this painting world, wine, I knew. Until I got into this painting world, I always thought of sunflowers as a summer flower. And then when I started painting and whatnot, I realized that a lot of people thought of it as a fall flower. Now I'm going to put out my my orange. This is a spiced pumpkin. It's a little bit deeper than like a regular bright orange or pumpkin orange. And then this is saffron yellow, which is a little orangier than a regular yellow. Use whatever yellow and whatever yellow, whatever orange you have. Totally up to you. Okay. I'm going to work this way. So I'm going to dip my brush in the orange. In the yellow. See, I got confused anyway. Pick up a little bit of orange. And now I'm going to start filling in my petals. And again, I'm using this short, strokey strokes that I used for the background, because that's just the style of this painting. I have enough orange in my brush right now. So when I go back to my palette, I'm not picking up orange every time. I'm just picking up yellow. And then we will evaluate if we need more orange or not. Maybe now I need more orange. And a little bit in there too. Making my petals a little bit darker. Little tiny, do you see this? I'm just doing these little tiny, pick up some yellow, little tiny strokes They're no longer than an inch. Now I'm using my little pinky to hold my hand. And we're just going to go in and we're going to fill in every one of these petals with these little tiny strokes. Still working on our cheeses. All right, if you don't know what that means, art is like pizza. You don't judge it, you don't eat it until it is done. So I'm pretty excited. Let me do this one a little bit darker because it's in the back. I'm pretty excited about my paint party. I think it's an end of summer family gathering. And it's a combination of adults and kids on Sunday afternoon. I only have to drive about 45 minutes. And I think it'll be fun. It's weird. I had been in contact with this woman last summer, and then I never heard from her again. Okay, fine. And then about a month ago, I saw a post on Facebook that someone was looking for a person to come to their house and do an art party. And I was like, oh, I can do that. Let me message her. And I didn't even realize it was the same person. So when I went into Messenger, I saw that her and I had been messaging. So I was totally honest. I said, did you forget about me or did you not want to use me? Either way, that's okay. But I didn't want to be like bugging her. And she's like, no, I couldn't remember your name. Okay, there you go. And now we hooked up. But yeah, I didn't go in my Messenger and be like, oh, I never heard back from her. She must not want to use me. No, things happen. So I was just very upfront. If there was something about my style, my personality, whatever, you don't want to use me, totally fine. Not everyone is for everyone. So that was my first question. And she's like, no, I'm so glad you found me. I couldn't remember your name. Okay. I got you now. So that should be fun. Okay. So look at that already. We barely even got started. No details yet. And because of these short little strokes and still being able to see the white through, I'm just coming back in. I'm adding a little bit of orange towards the center, making it a little bit darker and pulling them out. Love your style and personality. So fun. Thank you, Virginia. Thank you. Okay. So I'm going to start working up here now. Let's pull out. Let's pull out. Maybe I'll make these up here a little bit darker so then you can see the difference. And again, I said this one I did wrong. So to cover up that green paint might take a couple of coats, but we'll figure it out. We will figure it out. I'm not stressing over a little spot on my painting. So if you just joined, welcome. I am Teresa. You can get the download for this painting if you want to paint it. And welcome to Creative Care Fridays, where I have my iced coffee. I am committed to showing up for you guys. And I think this is week 4. I have been doing Freebie Fridays for over 2 months now, since before the summer. But I did not commit to a time. You know why? I didn't feel like it. But now I am. I feel like I owe it to you guys who show up to have a set time. You guys want to see me on here. So for now, until I decide to change it, Creative Care Fridays will be 10 a.m. Eastern on the Facebook and the YouTube. All right, now I don't really know, and it's okay not to know. I don't know what's going on up here. I don't know what petals are which. Right now, it doesn't matter because I extended this whole thing. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to get crazy about it. We will figure it out. I'm just going to keep going. If I get a little petal on my wine bottle, I'm going to fix that later. And it's all right having a little bit of white showing through on your petals. White is a color, and we're going to be adding white anyway. So while I have this, I'm going to keep the yellow on my brush. I'm going to pick up a little bit of white, and I'm going to come in here to my label and pick up a little bit more white. When you do the label, you want your strokes to curve a little bit. That gives the illusion of your bottle being round. Okay, let me fix this corner. Again, just base coating, no details yet. So we did our background. We gotta get comfy. We base coated our bottle and we base coated our flower. So I'm gonna put out a little bit of this brown paint. Okay, still not even washing my brush, no need. I'm going to my brown and I'm just gonna fill this in. And you want, we're gonna come back with a little bit of black later. You want your center to cover your petals. The center of our flower is above our petals. So all these ends where our petals attached, you're going right over them. Picking up a little bit yellow too. This way, but not a lot, but just a little bit. This way, it gives your petals are behind the center of your flower. Now this part's tricky. A little bit of black goes a very long way. Let me do it here first. I'm just lightly, maybe not even a 1/16 of an inch, going over. I'm gonna have to fix that petal again. Going over the center, going over the petals with the center of my flower. And you don't want it to be perfectly round. See, it's got like a little jaggedness to it there. I'm using a mixture of this brown paint and a little bit of yellow. Okay, now I'm going to pick up, I'm not washing my brush, picking up a tiny, tiny bit of black, and I'm scrubbing in a little bit of black. I'm literally using it like you're trying to, maybe you're trying to erase some paint. I'm literally using the tip of my brush and I'm going circular motions clockwise and counterclockwise and scrubbing in with my round brush here on the outside of my flower. It just gives it like a softer edge. We don't want to just come in here and paint a circle. That's unnatural. So I'm using this round brush, a little bit more black, and I just literally pick up the lightest bit of black. If you get too much, let it dry, go back over with your brown, and start over. And I'm swirling, swirling, swirling. There. So now we have our centers. Let me see, do you need to do this a little bit maybe? Can't see the top. There we go. There we go. Okay. Oh, let me move my dirty rag. All right. So I need my dirty rag. So while that's drying, we're going to come back to our wine bottle. And I'm going to pick up a little bit of this light green, and we're going to start adding in some highlights. Same stroke, same little baby strokes, following the shape of our bottle. So we're coming down, and then we're going out rounded. I'm going to have to fix this up here. You know why? It's blending in too much with my bottle. So where I did this green background, I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to add some yellow over it. The yellow and the light green and the dark green up here. My bottle wasn't popping, and now it is. Okay, back to my light green. Small little strokes. Again, no more than an inch. This is my paper or my protector, and I'm coming down the bottle. I'm going to do the same thing over here. This gives, again, we're just adding to the illusion that our bottle is round and it's making a glare. Little tiny strokes. It's a beautiful day here today. I might have to go for a walk. Little tiny strokes. And then up here, again, making an illusion that the bottle is round. These have to match. And now I'm not even washing my brush. When you have to wash your brush, I'll tell you. These colors play very nicely together. I'm adding in some white. When we're done and you guys see this, you're going to be like, oh, that's too hard. But once you have seen me paint it, that's why I rarely show a painting first, because I'm afraid that people are going to look at it and be like, there's no way I can do that. I teach in-person classes. I have people come in there all the time. Oh, there's no way. There's no way. I'll give it a try. And then they're shocked because there is way. All right. A couple more here. All right. A couple here. Again, when you're down here on the label, you want it to curve. You want to give the illusion that your bottle is curvy. Now, I am going to wash my brush. I'm going to go back to my green paint with the tiniest, tiniest, tiniest bit of black. I'm actually going to mix it on my plate. My green with the tiniest, tiniest, tiniest bit of black. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to pull the black or this very dark green down the side of my bottle. This is doing two things. It's darkening up the side of my bottle, and it's fixing anywhere where I might have gotten my petals out of the line and onto my bottle. This is really now defining the shape of our bottle and our bottleneck, and it is really going to pop. You don't need a lot of it. Okay, and there you can just see now the bottle is ready to stand out. And I'm going to do a little bit too around just that little bit of shadow. Now you can see the label. Now you can see the bottle. Now you can see all that glare on the bottle. We're good to go. I'm going to wash my brush. Now we're going to add the centers to our sunflower. And you can do this however you want. I'm going to start with the yellow. I need more yellow. You can come in here and dot and make these very messy with the round brush. Tap, tap, tapping. A little bit of white and tap, tap, tap. This is your call. Okay, or you can get the back of your brush and be more thoughtful about it. Now my painting is going to look weird because I'm going to have these two methods, but I'm just trying to demonstrate to you guys multiple ways that you can do this, depending on which way you like better. This one actually needs more. It's totally up to you. It's your art, your way. And now what we're doing with these details, we're adding the toppings to our pizza. These highlights, me darkening up the bottle, adding the center to my flower. This is all the details. This is all the pizza toppings. And I'm going to wash my brush. So we've done this whole painting now with two brushes. This medium round, and then I'm going to try not to make a mess, with this 1-inch flat brush. And I honestly, this 1-inch flat brush was probably a little big, but I had it in my cup. So if you used, this one's smaller, this is 3/4, or if you used, I don't know, I have a half-inch one. Sorry, this is 3/4, half-inch. Either of these would be fine. You want to use the brush that goes with the painting because you don't want, this is actually unique because we wanted all these brush strokes, but you can't use a little tiny brush like this to paint, you know, a masterpiece because you'll just have brush strokes everywhere. I like seeing my brush strokes. I like knowing it's hand painted. I like that look. Coffee time, but not everyone does. I have to do something up here with this corner. I'm going to take a little bit of white. I'm mixing a little bit of white up here with my light green. And I'm just going to tap this in here. This corner was not, get a little bit of the dark green. I think that's better. The beauty of acrylic paint, you can fix anything. Wait for it to dry, and you can fix anything. I wasn't liking the yellow next to the bottle. The green was too dark. But I think I like that now. I'm going to wash the brush. Ideally, I could go back with this now that I darkened up my whole bottle. I could go back with the regular green that I used there, but whatever. So I'm going to get a little bit of white. I'm still using this medium round. Put it in here. So if you want this tracer, and I'm going to go in here and I'm putting a little bit of white highlight on the ends of my petals. Okay. And doing so up here just gave me the illusion that my petal, remember I said I didn't really know what's going on up here? But now I just kind of put a petal in there. Very light white strokes and a little bit of highlight. If you're watching me on the YouTube and you haven't subscribed to my channel, I have dozens of beginner art videos just like this. Seasonal, trendy. So hit the subscribe button and you will also be notified every time I upload a new video or go live. Very light, not heavy-handed, very light. Tell you a secret. I have waxed paper. You're going to think this is weird. So if you are in my description, I have links to some of my favorite art supplies. One of my favorite art supplies is wax paper. And the reason that's on there, wax paper is the easiest way to practice light strokes. On wax paper, your brush just moves so smoothly and easily. And that's not, let me get dark paint. Same brush, heavy pressure, same brush, light pressure, same exact brush, same exact paint. So that's why I have wax paper. You're like, why is there wax paper on our list? That's why I have wax paper on my list, because wax paper makes it so easy. And this was my biggest struggle when I was learning how to paint. My biggest struggle was learning how to be loose and less heavy-handed. Okay. Now this part is up to you. I'm going to outline a little bit of my petals with some black. You can skip this part. You can wait till your painting is 100% dry and use a paint pen or a Sharpie. You do have to wait for your painting to be dry though, because you will ruin either one of those. If your painting still has the slightest bit of moisture in it, you will ruin your Sharpie or your paint pen. Okay? Again, no rules. Not have to be perfect. I'm just coming in here and lightly outlining a little bit of the edges of my petals. I'm not totally outlining and tracing in every single petal. Some of them come longer. Some of them are just at the tip. And then I'm going to do a little bit there. And there we have it. There we have it. What do you guys think? Let me turn you around. So thanks. Let me pop out my protector sheet. And here's our little wine bottle and sunflower for our morning creative care Friday in the books for August, whatever it is. I don't know. What's today? August 15th? Is it the 15th? I don't even know. So thank you guys for joining me. Thank you, Virginia. Stay well. What I would suggest, and it might be hot out, but if you have a shady, breezy area, sit outside a little bit. Get outside, get some fresh air, get a little sunshine, a little vitamin D in the shade. You should, because you can be outside in the shade and still be getting not shade covered up like in your garage, but you can be outside in a shaded area and still be getting some vitamin D. Get yourself some iced tea, cool water, whatever, and go hang. Thank you guys for joining me for Creative Care Friday. If you have not hit the subscribe button on my YouTube channel, please do. You can get the free tracer for this, and you can trace it and paint along with me. Love you guys. Have a great weekend. Bye, everyone.